How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about SOFI, which was up just over 5% on the day. It also had some catalysts that came through. We'll talk about it further in the video. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in a bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for SOFI. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $7.42, being up 5.25%. On the low, we tested $6.96, and then on the high, testing $7.42. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 28.634 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 41.498 million shares. So we had below average volume on the day, but we still saw some strength in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it's at 53.47. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 200-day. We're also below the 50-day, but we did close above the 21-day EMA, which is exactly what we want to see. So we saw a low yesterday at $6.95, and we made a low at $6.96. So we technically have a higher low, and that's what I was talking about. So as far as for the high of the day, we ended up seeing $7.42. I really wanted to see us break through this level because now we are continuing a trend in regards to forming lower highs. And this has now officially happened over the past 3 trading days, including today. So we want to see a turnaround going into tomorrow. And as far as the high is concerned, I want to see us being able to actually break above 769 so we can make that move to 805. We know 805, this is a prior area of resistance. If it doesn't happen tomorrow, then of course I want to see it for some time next week, because breaking above 805 can send SOFI to fill in the gap right here around 845. So that's one thing you want to keep an eye on. If it decides to consolidate now, then of course you want strength to continue above the 21-day EMA. So a pullback having $7 form as support, that would give us another higher low. But this would be the best case scenario if the stock doesn't move much. But if we end up having a red day and it decides to pull back, breaking through that 21-day EMA could easily send SOFI all the way down to 650, and this is an area that we'd want to see hold up strong. Now let's move on to the short interest information. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for SOFI. So scrolling down on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. When we take a look at the recent filings for June the 2nd, we have Verichin Fund Management LLC that purchased 14,898 shares, and we have a closed position from Insight Advisors LLC. When we take a look at other positions, we could see, yep, we've already covered these already. So now when we take a look at the short interest, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 53.69%, and then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 8.79 million shares. Scrolling down on the page, the short shares availability is at 3.5 million, updated 26 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow-free rate is at 2.97%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, you can see for the close of the 31st, it is at 49.45, and then for the close of the 1st, it is at 53.69. So it has gone up a bit, and then taking a look at the short interest percentage of the float, and you know it, 19.67%, SOFI does continue to have short squeeze potential. Now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for SOFI. So we see on the inflows at 42.89 million, and then on the outflows at 36.29 million. So we had an inflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown, on the large it was 0, on the medium it was 28.10 million, and then on on the small, it was 14.79 million. Taking a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large, it was 1.08 million. On the medium, it was 22.67 million. And then on the small, it was 12.54 million. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for today, June the 2nd, we had that outflow of negative 1.08 million. Analyzing the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tend to represent the retail side, you can see we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the large, represents whales, institutions, and funds, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 3.14%. So this is a good range for SOFI right here. And I know a lot of you are excited due to the fact that this stock has been on a strong uptrend. And we can clearly see that retail has been buying up when taking a look at the order flow. Like I said, there are some catalysts. We'll talk about it in the final thoughts. So let's get into it right now. So for my final thoughts for SOFI, before we go into the price action, the two big catalysts that came out today. So we had Anthony Noto, who is the CEO, is continuing to load up on shares. He bought at $7.07, and today the stock closed at $7.42. But when the CEO is aggressively buying up shares at the prices where the stock is trading at, this is very bullish. This also gives investors a lot of confidence. He believes there's more upside in the play, and of course for shareholders, this is what they want to get from their investment as well. As far as for the second catalyst, SOFI has extended their hours in regards to trading. So now it is from 9 a.m. all the way to 8 p.m. So I think this is great news, especially for those that need those extended hours and want to trade at later times on the platform. So this is going to help them over the long run. And it's also going to bring a lot more interest into the app. So I'm very excited about this and the momentum that we're seeing in the play, and knowing that the company is doing very well, SOFI is in a very good place. Now let's talk about the price action. So we ended up forming a higher low. I know it wasn't a big difference. It was only a penny. We tested a low at $6.96, and on the previous day it was at $6.95. But at the end of the day, we still formed a higher low. We do have a trend in regards to lower highs, but I have no problem with that whatsoever because we continue to stay above the 21-day EMA. We talked about how important this level is. So what does that look like? We want it to hold at least $7.07. We want to see some support there. If it decides to pull back and hold that area, not only do we form another higher low, but SOFI really starts to show a lot of strength going into next week. So I want you guys to know that. And if we are able to make a move, especially to $8 where it is a psychological level, we're looking out for 805. Because if it can break above 805, we know there's a gap to the upside that needs to be filled right around $8.45. As far as if you're going to be playing this to the downside, if you feel that it's going to be bearish, or maybe we have a pullback inside of these markets, if it breaks through the 21-day EMA, that's where it could start looking weak. But at the same time, all this stock really needs to do is hold $7. So I'd be very careful. I feel like there's a lot more upside in the play, especially if the markets continue to trend up. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership, we do see some activity, but not a lot. And then when we took a look at the short interest information, it does continue to have short squeeze potential. Many shorts vested in this play, so that's part of the reasons why when we have a catalyst and so forth, this stock can get moving very quickly. And like I said just a minute ago, the market has been showing a lot of strength. I told you guys about this for quite some time already. I think since last week, I was telling you that Amazon was going to be doing a stock split. So as far as for the week that is coming, which was this week, and it could possibly go into next week, since it does officially split on June the 6th, there's going to be a lot of momentum. And that's exactly what we're seeing across the market when it comes to tech stocks. So that's why I always say, have a game plan. It is so important. I can't emphasize this more than enough. So I can't wait to see how SOFI performs going into tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.